Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 and ballyspring. Right, so we're now in the months where everything's gone a bit cold and all the feed from the grazing mod has run out. So in this episode we are going to focus on the animal feed, also moving the animals around because obviously it's a bit cold for them outside and we want to bring them in. And we're also going to take a look at selling some stuff because it's that time of year where we can sell all the silage we did is now ready to sell, so that's all fermented. And we're going to just take a look around because I've got a few updates as well, a few changes I've made. So yeah, let's quickly just show you the fields. So if you have a look on here, obviously these were the soybeans. Everything's set up in regards to planting in there. These are the two that we're going to be doing like our feed with, so that's whole crop, which is already sorted out, and this one's going to be maize and that one's going to be maize for maize silage. They're all set up as well. Now, the only one that I was messing about with really after we mowed for the silage is this one. And yeah, just that one, because we did these two here, that, and then this one. So there's 4 fields we were working on. This one's obviously going to be a part of this row here for grass fields. So I did plant in some grass into that, spread lime in all the fields. So everything's pretty much set on that regard. And yeah, planted in the grass over here. Didn't need to fertilise because luckily the nitrogen levels were fine for grass. So pretty much all that's left to do now is do the maize fields and then obviously grow in some soybeans. Everything else is set. And I can just show you, if we go on to the seed rate, you can see that we've planted into these 5 fields. So all our grass fields are set up, fully fertilised and everything. So all we need to do now pretty much just wait for them and start chopping. And then obviously we've done the one for whole crop silage. So as soon as we get out of winter, we'll obviously be starting to plant in the maize and the soybeans. So that's all done. We don't need to worry about the fields from now on because yeah, we're at that point where yeah, there's not much to do. Right, so let's just have a quick look at the changes I've made. And the reason I did that is because some of the obviously cornering on the farm were just a little bit tight and I think I can make it better. So what I decided to do was move out this wall here and the gates obviously that were here, just because I think this opens this up now, makes it a better area to work in. Also got rid of the 2 silos, or the 2 container silos that I put there, and replaced it with 3 feed type ones that come with Maize Plus, just in case we do want to store anything else. I also had to move out all the cows from this area because the feed was starting to run out. So what I did is I put them outside, and you can see that the feed has technically ran out over here because all the fields everywhere have reset with it being like the winter months. So on this map they do reset. Now, I did notice as well, I can confirm that this field did start going down as well. I think what it was, I did see a comment on this as well, so it was spot on with the comment. The feed that was already in the trough was too much for it to start consuming from the field, so it just needed to consume a little bit more. And I have actually tested this field out by just fast forwarding time just to see what would happen. And that grass lasts a long time, even when we start breeding and our pen gets close to full. So that is really good news. It means we don't even have to really worry about focusing on giving any hay or any feed to the sheep. We can just let them graze, which is exactly what they would do pretty much in the real world of farming. A lot of the times just sheep are outside tending to themselves. So yeah, I have moved, like I said, some items, just mainly some hedges and a few gates, and obviously this wall here, just opening this up, which I think does make it a lot easier working about. I have also added a lot of lights in because of the fact we can't really farm at night time. So at night time now, the whole farm is lit up. You can see these little things that I've put in from a mod that's just come on Mod Hub, and they are really, really good. They do a cracking job, I have to say. Perfect kind of light. It's not too much, not too bright. Yeah, so I have dotted them about the place just to make my life a little bit easier when it comes to trying to farm at night, because I know sometimes, especially with making content, if you're doing any farming at night time on a farm, it just makes it a bit difficult to watch. So I'm hoping now we can, if needed, maybe do something in the night on the farm, especially even if it's just feeding. Yeah, like I said, mainly it's just to make access a bit easier. So I did put down here as well some gates and took out the hedges before. Now what I decided to do was just remove them and just make it an open hedge. Now it doesn't look very good right now because obviously all the grass has vanished, but when it comes back it will look pretty good. I have set it up so where the grass kind of grows, it does make it look, you know, seamless. It doesn't stand out as something that shouldn't be there. So I do like the way I've done it. Also, what I've done is make connections in the field. So you can see there's one here. Obviously, we've got that one there, so I didn't need to make one into that field. So we can just go round. That one's already there. But over here, if we just have a quick look, you might be able to make it out. Not the grazing fields, because obviously we're not going to be in them. But that field there coming down from where, obviously, our silage pads are, that's now got this connection here. So you can get into this grass field. That already had that one down there. And then you can see I've made one there and there. So we can actually access the fields from another field. And that helps us, especially when we're doing the soybeans, because we can be harvesting in there and just work our way through to the next field, for example. So I think that was a good idea. There is one in between the fences I've done over there, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. I might revert that back. So what I did down here is I removed out a wall there, just so it was easier to turn left, because I was finding that turning left from here was a bit of a nightmare. I mean, I know some of the lanes are going to be tight, and I know some of the corners are, but if we can chop down the hedges ourselves with a chainsaw, we may as well try and do it just to make things work a bit better for us. So that's pretty much the main bit of changes I've done, but there's also another thing. So let's just quickly turn off our flight mode. We don't need that anymore. And the other change I've done is igloos. Now, the map comes with igloos, but they are problematic. If you have any of them down on any farm anywhere, what you'll find is when you jump into your animal tab, so the animals tab, none of the animals would exist anymore. They just all vanish. So there is a mod that's come out pretty much today as I'm recording this, which is the igloo mod, and it's really good. They're only cheap, relatively cheap. I think it's like £500 to put one of these down, and you can feed, you know, some TMR to them, and you can put straw bedding in, and in return I think you can actually get manure. So we'll have to check that out, but I think it's better to have the calves in here. So also it's really good, you can actually stand, if you stand on the right side, you can open it up, and I think that's how we're going to take the manure out. And I have tested it. You can see I've put some straw bedding in there, and a bit of feed in this. That's why I've got this shovel, because it's about 200 litres in each bucket, and I was thinking we could make some TMR, kind of dump it down, and then use the shovel to scoop into each one of these calf igloos. And this is where we can store our calves, instead of having them like in this area, for example, or outside with the heifers or even your main milkers. Have them where they should be, which is in these calf igloos, until they get to like the heifer stage, and then we can bring them in with our actual, well, it depends really if they're outside or inside. But yeah, I do like the idea of that. So we're also going to go down to the shop as we're selling the bales, and we're also going to sell the canola because that's the right time now in December. We're going to go pick up some of these small straw bales. We're also going to might be picking up some larger straw bales, because we are now doing our own TMR mixes with the feed completely running out at this point. And like I said, what we're at now is 5 degrees, but at some point it's going to be -8, so these cows shouldn't be outside anymore. So we're going to bring them all in and start feeding them ourselves, which again is really good because we'll get more slurry, which we're doing well at. I think I've got about, I just said it there, we've got pretty much 30,000 litres of slurry and a hell of a lot of manure. Really have nearly 50,000 litres of manure to start putting onto the grass fields, which is going to help us. It's going to save us using the solid fert that I've bought. So I do want to start working onto that soon. So let's get this feed done first before we start sorting out the calves. We'll bring the main cows in, then do the calves after. Now I did try and get a step ahead of myself because it is quite a big animal trough, so it takes a lot of feed, and you can see that I've got 99,000 litres in there. It's a lot, it really is. But we're going to do another mix. Now I made this Keenan do 50,000 litres as a mix. I just find it easier knowing that Maize Plus takes a lot of feed. So I'm going to do a third one, and we're going to use some of this to feed the cows in here to make it all ready for them, put some straw down, but then we're also going to use it to feed some of these calves. Now I have got 16 calves, and I know there's not as many calf pens there, but I have put some near where the bales are being stored. So we are going to get them all into a calf pen and start looking after them like that. First we need to make the feed mix. It's a little bit loud, that John Deere is. It really is. Now, if we have a look at the mix that I'm doing, so I think I've set it up, bring up the F1 menu, I'm sure I've set it up as young stock. Yeah, I have. Now the reason it's young stock, I've got multiple options with Maize Plus. I've got the realistic one where you can pretty much add anything as long as you add the two minimums, which I think are grass silage and maize silage. In fact, it's best to do this. So if we go to mixtures, so that's the base one, we're not going to be using that. This one's the realistic one, but we do need to make sure we have maize silage or grass silage. Now we haven't got maize silage, so we can't do that one, but I think I'm going to stick to these ones, which are set up if you've got beef, young stock or milkers. Now we obviously haven't got any beef, but we have got young stock because technically we've got heifers and calves, which are young stock. Now ideally you want to be giving them milk replacement, anything like that for the calves, but we can't do that unfortunately, so we're going to be using the young stock mixture for them. Now the minimum requirement for this is either grass silage or maize silage. We've got the grass silage, hay, straw, so it is a bit like, if not the same as the base game, but we can also add in a few extras along the way. Now I have been putting molasses in because I had some of that. I have bought myself a pallet of the Duyuka mineral feed, so any of the mineral feeds we can do for that. But then eventually what we'll put them on is a dairy cattle mix, which is either maize silage, grass silage, bit of hay, but it basically just doesn't need the straw, and we can add some extra stuff in to kind of bulk it up, which is mainly BG silage really in the grain grist. I have bought that beet pulp, so if we did want to go onto the realistic mixture we could as soon as we get maize silage and grass silage, because then we can start putting whole crop silage in to try and buff it up a bit more, a bit of the beet pulp, because that can go up to 30%. I kind of like that mix because we can just put maize, grass, whole crop, beet pulp, you know, and you're pretty much alright then. And then we can, depending on how much hay we have, we can just keep topping it up with hay. It's I do like that mixture, I really do. But right now we'll stick to the young stock, and then we'll have a look at the dairy cattle one going forward. I'm even thinking about pigs as well, because with the enhanced animal system mod, which is an excellent mod by the way, definitely recommend using it, just been updated as well. So now what it does include is the options to have goats on your map. So I think it's actually inbuilt to the mod. So any sheep pen on the map that you're playing on, if you have that mod, it will have goats in. I think it's excellent, I really do. And I think now, I did notice a change. If we look into my sheep pasture, it now gives me the option for goat milk. So yeah, it seems like it's taking the assets from Farmer Andy and Hoff Bergman, because he does give credit to Farmer Andy in the mod description on Mod Hub. So you can see, yeah, we can get goats if wanted, which is good. Definitely love that mod though, because it's, you know, if you're having sheep, you've got a high chance to get multiple lambs. There's a possibility as well. I think when you have pigs now, you get about at least 8 piglets each time. So I think you can go up to 12 as well. So if you think about that, that makes pigs technically worth it now. But I found that pigs just didn't make you money. If anything, they kind of lost your money. So I've never really done pig farming in the game, but with this mod now, it kind of opens up so we can start doing it, which I think is pretty spot on. Right, anyway, let's stop faffing about and get this done. Definitely need some straw. This is like my second to last bale, because this mix does require some straw, so we're going to have to keep an eye out on that. Now, with it being 50,000 litres, it does take a lot. Makes you think how much feed I'm going to have to start making as soon as we get more cows. Definitely. Just trying to think now, should we put maybe two hay bales in, maybe 3 or 2? Let's go get ourselves probably 2 hay bales. That's about 13,000 litres, so it's a good chunk. Maybe 3, and then fill it with silage, see what's left. It will be a TMR mix after that, so we shouldn't have to worry about adding in anything else. We can put a bit of molasses in and finish it off. I mean, the last mix I did, I only put it on for a second, but it nearly consumed the whole IBC. It's a 1,000 litre IBC. I think I've got about 250 litres left in it, so we could just finish that off. Now, hay can go up to 75, but it's a minimum of 25. There we go. We'll just keep bobbing in a bit of silage. We'll finish off this molasses and then we'll keep bobbing in a bit of silage. Let that just mix a bit and we'll take this up. And I'll show you the calf igloos that I've got up here as well. I did store some of the bales that I did, just a trailer load, so 17 bales from the ones we made to sell. Just because I knew I'd probably need the feed, and I'm glad I have because I've nearly used them all just by doing the 2 TMR mixes. And they are 3,500 litres, so obviously we're using them much quicker. But if I put 17 in, we've got 5 left. So we're definitely probably going to use all these 5. So we may as well take off the wrapping. And if we jump back to this, turn the mixer off because it struggles anyway. With it being a hefty tool. Ooh. So we'll put a bit of molasses in. You can see that we're at 1% and that's consumed that IBC. So that'll do for me. We have got some mineral feed if needed, like I said, but it's just about getting that extra 50,000 litres. And that should do us over winter then. I know we've got all the cows technically in one spot, but we are going to move the calves out. Now the calf igloos, they hold about 250 litres of food each time. Now I've got to keep an eye on this because if it doesn't last a whole day, I'm going to have to feed my calves multiple times, which then becomes a pain. It might be something I have to edit to hold a little bit more, just because of the fact I don't mind feeding them every day, you know, a shovel, because that's what I've got the shovel for. I don't mind doing that every day, but I don't want to be doing it multiple times in a day. That would just be too much work. Let's have a look at this now. So we're at... So we might need to put a bit more straw in. In fact, you know, that's not looking too bad. We are right in the sweet spot. I just don't want the straw to go down, but we can afford to put a little bit more of the silage in, and we have taken more out. Have a look what this last bale does. Because we're not quite at the 50,000, are we? I'm going to figure it out with the 5.5s when I do that, because I won't be doing any 3,500 litre bales again. So we're at 40% there. And we're at 12% on the straw. Now we could probably put in another bale of silage, I think. Maybe get away with it. We'll have to check this. We just want one. Make sure we just keep an eye on that straw, because we need to make sure that's at least 10%. But you can see how much silage we've gone through already. I think we did put one in there though, so that doesn't help. So we're at 11. Right, so 48,000, we're still at 10% on straw. I think we could just take this bale out and just see if we can get it to sit at 10. There we go. Definitely don't want to go over though, that is a fact. So we're at 10. So let's just try and be really careful with this. There you go, that bale's been consumed. I'm happy with that. That's 49,000. It's close enough for me for the feed mix. So yeah, no problem with that one. Let's close this down. And you can see we're just on the limit. to make the TMR there. But it does the job, that's the main thing. Right, so let's go give this to, well, it's the cow shed. Eventually the cows are going to be in there. We are going to move them straight after this. Probably going to give them out the 50. Don't know how much it holds, I'll be honest. Now this is a tight corner. I have found that I am struggling with the manure that's popping out the sides, but if I can go far on the left hand side for this, it does work. But that's what happens when you go with a bigger feed mixer. But this will go through now. Maybe scratch the paintwork a bit. Come on. Right, so let's give them that. We'll keep an eye on it, we will. So we don't want to give it all, we need some for the cars, but we don't need too much, but I'd probably rather have some left over as well. So we can go just pick it up with a bucket maybe and dump it, but I will put some down over here. I just know that the cows are going to consume a lot of this. So let's bring it down to 25,000, then we'll keep the other 25,000 is food for calves, and if we have to store it where we store the beet pulp, we can always do that. There we go, 25,000 litres of TMR mix. Now, I did have a bit of a problem trying to tip out of the feed mixer because I did the young stock. Technically, it wouldn't allow me to tip to the ground with that, but if I have it as TMR, so just the base game, it will allow me. So what I had to do was empty out half that I left in, so 25,000, and then I put it into a trailer as TMR, for example, filled it up and just dropped 25,000 here, just to try and keep it exact to what I made. But yeah, a bit of a pain that is, but at least we've got it. So the feed's set there, ready to give to the calves. We have got, like I said, 125,000 litres pretty much for the cows already made up, ready to bring them in. But they're all set now. All we need to do with the cows is obviously feed the calves, move the calves over, and then do bedding. And the same for the cows that we bring in. We'll do the bedding for them. But with it being 2:30, and the sun's probably going to go down soon in-game, we are going to go and start selling this stuff because we do need the money. We are in a bit of a debt. So let's go sell the silage and let's go sell this canola. Now, we're going to do the canola first just because it's easier. So, I think we need to move over here for that. There we go, we shouldn't have... There we go, 12,500 litres of canola from the field we started with. So let's just confirm that the best place to sell. So there we go, canola and 1340, it sell everything. So that's not bad, that's actually a lot easier because it's the closest place to us. See if I can just swing this around. There we go. And then we will come back, I will drop this trailer off, go pick up the bale trailer, and we'll start auto-loading these down as well, the bales down here that have been fermenting. Now, I was going to take some to the biogas plant. I might take one load just to see, but I think the rest I am going to just sell as bales just to try and get the money in straight away instead of just keep going back and taking them. Maybe pay a little bit of that loan off and just see how much money we've got left, really. See how much we pick up first, because I'm not going to be able to make any money for a while. I know I've got wool starting to generate, but it isn't much. The map does look a lot different without that grass. It really does. All the fields look really bare. I know we do get traffic here, so we need to keep an eye out. They should wait. Swing it around, we're reversing over here. Yeah, JCB. That's nice custom traffic to the map. There we go. So let's see how much we get for this. It shouldn't be loads, but obviously every little helps right now. It really does. It's going up. It's doing well. I have got it on normal difficulty as well, so it won't be crazy, but it'll be better than hard. I'll tell you that now. With the survival series, sometimes... Hey, look at that. 885 bonus. So we're pretty much 17 and a half, you could say, thousand from that, and I am happy with that. I really am. That is some bonus cash. So let's go and sell this silage. We'll take the first load to the biogas plant, and the rest we'll bring here to sell everywhere. It's easier to do that. We can get rid of them, and then we don't have to worry about going back and selling any more silage. So I'll get back, swap trailers, pick up that first load, and then on the travel down to the biogas plant I'll cut back in. So it should just be straight down into the main town or village, and then there's a little left, I think, and down to the BJ. But it'd be the first time I actually drove to the BJ. It's not too far. It looks far on the map, but when you're driving it, you actually go pretty quick. We need to get the cows sorted out as well. I think we'll be set pretty well then. They'll have a lot of feed, and I do like the idea now that we've got the calf igloos, because we can separate them properly. And I would like to sort out some pigs, but we're gonna have to put something down, I think, for pigs instead of buying a whole different farm. I've also found a really good mod that I've been looking at for quite some time now, but it's quite extreme, put it that way. It's a butcher's mod, but slaughterhouse, should I say, and it's really, yeah, it's just straight to the point. I mean, so yeah, it's worth taking a look at. I would like to do some pigs and then maybe the slaughterhouse, but like I said, it's one of them ones where you might want to look away, kind of thing. But we'll see. It's a lot of money as well to put down, so if I did put it down, it might be something that I place down as something I don't own. It just depends if it gives me a lot in return. I'll have to check. Right, so let's unload these bales. I'm gonna have to do it like that. And there we go. Looks happy enough. Let's just check this. So it's 60,000 litres of silage. If we activate that, I don't need to do that, and then that should start now processing through quite nicely the silage, and obviously we sell the methane, turn it into energy, and that's where you get your money from. We will get digestate though, so we should have a second source to put on the ground. Don't know how much it'll be, but it will top up the 30,000 odd that we've got already. So I'm happy with that. Let that process through, and I think we'll get a good reference after about 24 hours of what we'd earn in a day. Yeah, because it does actually, I think it's every hour, isn't it, with the BGA? It gives you money, so yeah, a bit different. I mean, I never thought I'd say this, but this tractor's going to have to overtake this car. I do think it's easy though, selling the bales, just because we don't have to wait, and the money comes in every hour, so we don't see it straight away. I did like that feature in FS19, how when you took your silage to the BJ, it was at midnight every night, you'd just process everything that was in there. So it'd start processing through, and you could keep filling it up and everything, but it wouldn't pay you until midnight. So everything you'd put into the BJ and it processed, you wouldn't see the money until midnight of that day, which I did like. This is probably more realistic, I'd say, maybe. I'm not too knowledgeable on BJs, I will be honest. We've gone the wrong way there. So no one was behind us. No, we're all good. Yeah, but I do prefer it probably from FS19 for that. Either way, you still get paid, and that's the main thing. So after the turn and the bridge, we'll be turning right. We'll go pick up another load. I'm hoping to bring in some good money. We did quite a lot of bales. I mean, because they were 3,500 litres, it's more to handle, more to transport, but I just hope we pick up enough for me to start paying off that loan a bit, because I don't like having that kind of stuff lingering over me. And some of the leased items we could lease to buy and pay it off, especially the grab, because I do think that grab's not bad at all. Probably a better way for me to handle it, and I need to practice with it. But yeah, the grab we were using originally, the grab from the top that I was doing with the silage bales that we chopped in the whole crop field, that's actually pretty decent. Right, so I think now's a perfect time for me to stick in a time lapse, me selling all these bales, and also I'll move over all the cows from the grass field. Now, I'll leave the calves, and we'll do that separately, but we will move over all the cows as well from the grass field. Right, so there we go. We are sitting at 104,000. That is insane. I didn't expect to make that much money. I really didn't. I actually made, I've just written this down so I didn't forget, but I did make £69,000 from the bales, and I made 16,700 from the crop. And you can tell the lights have actually come on, which I've just noticed. It looks pretty good. You see where I've put them. Put them inside as well. These wall lights, definitely do recommend them. They're brilliant. They really are. I've got a few, like I said, scattered around the place. Bales I got as well. I've got some small bales, so they're on there. I do think that I need to unload them. I have actually got them still on auto load. Cows are in. Calves are still outside, but I have got a few on the trailer, so we need to do them next. Now, some say, how the hell are you going to get that trailer in there? The only thing I can say is with great difficulty. I didn't actually think this through. I really didn't. But I'm hoping I don't have to buy some really small animal trailer just to do this and use a small tractor and go one by one. I would do that to have the option, but I'm just going to try and see if I can do this. It's going to be so tricky. It really is. I'm already stuck on something. You'd think that that'd be the best way to go, but the front end of this tractor. I wonder if I can just disconnect this, see if this will help me. Yeah, this is actually going to be pretty difficult. Which is such a shame. It really is. Whoa. Oh, way up now, we've got somewhere. Not ideal, but we're getting somewhere. Right, we did it somehow. I mean, we did obviously clip that, but yeah, it should be alright. The ones by the silage will be a lot easier, but this one, yeah, this is not going to be the simplest thing to do. Now, it's getting into the triggers as well, because they're so close to each other. I think we do need a small, really small one for this, for moving calves around, so we'll look. But let's see if we can just get these next three out. It's definitely too big for this, though. We're getting there, very slowly. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That one in the far corner, I've pretty much got no hope. Let's be honest. I may as well remove that one. There we go. Did it somehow. We definitely did it somehow. Let's just park that up there, leave that out of the way, and we'll come back to that another day. Is that a pile of muck already? That is very strange. How have you got a pile of muck? Let's have a look at our... Because it didn't even put straw in that one. That is interesting. Let's have a look just to see. I don't even know which one it is. So you can tell that they all need a bit of food, except there'll be one where I've already put food in. This one, so that's good. And two should have straw, there you go. So it takes 500 litres of straw and 250 litres of feed. Now that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Right, so I've got the telehandler with a bit of TMR in. So we are just going to quickly just drop some of that here. Should be enough for us and the shovel. We are going to need to get some more. There's some more there. Just random muck appearing, which is very strange because it's appearing in the ones where I haven't actually got calves in. Yeah, God knows. We can just scoot past here. I know. You're right. Right, so this one will need straw. It's consumed all that. We're going to need to get some more from that trailer, but we'll do that in a second. Let's see if this shovel works. Now, I haven't used this before, but I did get the mod. Oh, blimey hell. That worked. That definitely worked. And that worked as well. Now, I set it up that it takes 600. So... it's 250, so we should be able to fill up 2. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. There we go. I've got 400 on there. So it does work, which is, yeah, I'm surprised about. You're going to want some. The amount that you keep giving out muck. So I think that's all of them fed, you know. Maybe this one can have a bit more. What about you? Nope. Tricky to get used to, but we will get the hang of this, promise you. It picks it up well. That's good to see. So let's just leave that there and let's open up the menu and just make sure all these igloos have got feed. So that's full. That one's full. And where's the other one? There, the open pastures. You can see that that's done really well. It really has. Does need a bit more straw, but we're alright just yet. And yeah, everyone's fed, so we just need to make sure we had some straw. I mean, muck coming out of here. I have to muck these ones out, so if we just lift them up. There we go. I wonder what happens to this calf when I lift this up. Oh, it just sits there happy. And we could use the shovel for that at least, so that's not too bad to clean up, but added muck. But I think we've done well. I think we really have. We need to probably adjust one of them calf pens, so we'll get rid of that. And yeah, we'll have a look. And we'll have a look at maybe getting ourselves a better way of moving these calves around. So yeah, we'll definitely delete that one out. I think overall though, it's not too bad. Looking at it, I actually prefer it this way. It means our calves are actually going to grow, and as soon as they get to heifer, like I said, I'll probably bring them either inside or outside. It just depends where they are. Yeah, it just depends on the time of year really, doesn't it, for that? But I think overall that's not too bad. Probably in the next episode we'll be moving on out of December because we've really got no field work to do. We're just looking after the animals. I'll keep feeding them. Should have plenty of feed. With us having, you know, a good amount of hay. We haven't got loads left, but we have got a good amount. They obviously fed quite a bit now, these cows in here. So that hopefully will last them out until we start getting a bit more grass on the field. And then I'm hoping we can get to the time when we start planting. So you never know. By the time I cut back in for the next episode, it could be, yeah, a few months advanced. And hopefully I'll have something better to move these calves around as well. But I think on that note, I am going to leave the video there. So thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up, as that does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.